up, guys? Darcizzle here from Darcizzle Offshore, and today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about choosing a cast net. And if you're just getting into catching your own bait and learning how to throw a cast net, it's important on what to know and what to look for when you're looking to purchase your first cast net. Me personally, I use Black Pearl cast nets, which is a very high quality net, and they have some amazing features on their cast net here. This one in particular, I just threw and opened it wide open in the yard, which is also a great way to practice. Always practice in the yard before you take it out to the water to catch some bait. But this is their 8-foot 1/4 inch net, and this one weighs 1.65 pounds per foot of line here, as you can see. And the cool thing about Black Pearl too is the fact that they have this invisible lead line series where the leads are actually hidden within this rope down here on the braille lines, which is really cool. It doesn't clang on your boat, doesn't make any noises when you're trying to catch bait and load your net. So when you're choosing your net size, it is all based on where you're catching bait, whether it's shallow water or deep water, and how big of the baits are you're catching. So throughout the year, the baits, where I find bait, it changes. Sometimes I catch them in shallow water, sometimes I catch them in deep water, like 10 foot plus. And when that happens, what you want to do is think about where you fish and where your bait is and what you're going to need. There are 3 important factors that go into purchasing your first cast net, in my opinion. The first one is going to be the mesh size you're throwing. The second one is going to be the size of the cast net you want to throw. And the third one will be the lead weights. The mesh size is important because you're going to base that on the size of the bait you're catching, but it also helps with the sink rate of the cast net. So for instance, this is a 1/4 inch net that I'm throwing, that I just threw in the yard, and this one is going to sink at a slower rate than the ones that are 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch. Those are going to sink faster in the water column because you have less mesh. For me personally, when I fish throughout the year, I have 2 different size meshes that I use with different types of bait that come in throughout the year. I like to use the 1/4 inch net and the 3/8 inch net. And a lot of the charter captains within our area and in Southeast Florida, their go-to net is 3/8 size mesh. Cast net size. Cast net size is important for a couple different factors. Mainly, that's what you're comfortable with throwing. I recommend starting with an 8-foot, at least for adults. Of course, if you're a kid watching this, go a little smaller than that for your first go. But the larger you go in the cast net size, the larger of a diameter you get, and the more opportunity you have to catch bait, especially if you throw on the outside edge of a school. So for this 8-foot net that I was throwing, this is going to be a 16-foot diameter. That gives me a huge opportunity to catch bait, especially if I throw it right on top of them. So think about that when you go to purchase your cast net size. I recommend going larger the better, because you can catch more bait, and you know me, I love to catch bait. But I use an 8-foot regularly, and I will use an 11-foot, especially when the bait is deep. When it comes to the weight size of the cast net, this one that I'm throwing from Black Pearl cast nets is 1.65 pounds per foot. So obviously, if I were throwing a 12-foot net, that would be heavier than this 8-foot net. But again, my go-to net year-round is going to be the Black Pearl cast nets. You can check out their website, blackpearlcastnets.com, for all the different sizes they have available. And I like to throw the 3/8. So 8-foot 3/8 mesh is my go-to size that I use year-round, and it's very practical. The 1.65 pounds per foot is perfect. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I'm going to be practicing a couple more practices in the yard, because you know what? The more practice makes perfect. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any more questions, concerns, or anything you would like to learn more about cast nets, go ahead and drop a comment in the description or in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you guys. So until my next little how-to lesson, follow your dream and keep on catching, and I hope you buy the perfect cast net.